Hello, this video will cover the bonus capabilities of my Simon board, as well as other capabilities not covered in the previous video. To start, I'll boot the device by powering it on. As you can see here, the main menu provides me with 4 different options right from the start. This upper left button controls the quick play option, and so if I press it, I will launch Simon in default settings. This is covered in the last video, so I won't go over it again. This upper right button controls the brightness of the board. So by pressing it, I can toggle through 6 different brightness settings, including having all the LEDs off. And finally, on the lower right, I have the piano mode, which allows the 4 different buttons to execute 14 different notes by pressing different combinations of these buttons. And I'll exit the mode by pressing all 4 buttons at once. The further capabilities of the piano mode are explored in another video, which I will link in the description. Finally, there is the lower left button, which covers the Simon game with all the options in different menus. The first of these menus is the button difficulty menu. From lower left to upper right is increasing difficulty, where the first button here is the single button mode, where the user will only ever have to press one button at once. Next is the double button mode, where the user may be prompted to press 2 buttons simultaneously, or just 1. Finally, the all button mode in the upper right may require the user to press 1, 2, 3, or 4 different buttons simultaneously. I'll go ahead and start the game in double mode. The next menu is the speed difficulty menu, which goes from lower left clockwise to lower right in terms of difficulty again. This determines how long the player has on their timeout timer, as well as how quickly the game gives instructions. So I'll give the game normal mode for now. Finally, we have the game length determining menu. From lower left clockwise to lower right again, we have increasing length of sequences from 5, 10, 15, and 100. For all the demos, I'll just keep it to 5. The game has started. There's a double button press. And there's the victory. We'll go back to the main menu and try a different mode now. This time we'll go for the all button mode. And to compensate for the increased difficulty of that, I'll go ahead and give myself an easier time with the easier speed, which increases the timeout time and gives you a slower speed at which the game will read you instructions. We'll boot in length 5 mode again and begin the game. There's a double button press. Unfortunately, the game didn't give us a triple button press this time. That will happen just due to the luck of the random number generation. I'll go ahead and attempt that again. And kind of breeze through the settings here. That's the same as what we picked before. Okay, right off the bat we got a triple button press. As you can see, it's a little tricky to wrap your hands around it, which increases the difficulty of the game. And there it is. We've won the triple/all button mode. Going back to the menu, the last thing I want to show you is the fastest game speed. So I'll stay in single button mode to decrease the personal challenge for me. There's the fastest difficulty, and I'll do a length 5 sequence. Let's hope I win. Wow, not a lot of time for error there. Alright, that's the victory there. Okay, that covers most of the bonus features of this board. The very last thing to show you is on the 2 button difficulty and game speed menus, I have LEDs of pulsating brightness. I felt this was an interesting inclusion just for aesthetic purposes. and I'll show you this on the speed menu as well. Alright, that's all the features of my board. Thank you very much for watching. You can read the README of my board in order to get more details on the specifics of the creative choices, or you can even read the code in order to get even more detail on the technical details of how I got this thing to work. If you haven't already, you can check out my playthrough of the Quick Play, which included the very basic features of the Simon board, as well as my video demonstrating how to use the piano mode in a practical setting. Thank you very much for watching.